Actually think for yourself. Okay, I'm a little tired, so I might not be talking as loud as I normally do. I'm a little tired today, but I'll get through it. But actually think for yourself. Today in this age, nobody really thinks to themselves, or they never really ask, or they ask, but they never really like seek the answer in the most appropriate way and just like trying to think about it. They never think about it. They just want the answer. They just type in something on Google and that's the answer that they give out. Now, I know a lot of you are saying like thinking is a life skill. Well, you think that until you see a lot of people who actually don't think for themselves and just do what they're told. Now, do what's right. If someone asks you like or tells you to do something, you know it's right or something, actually do it. Okay? But actually think for yourself whenever it comes to like your career in your life or debating because there's so many people who debate and they're ultimately just wrong because they just search up this little answer that they think's right and mainly because they want to sound right and it's not right because you need to actually give it some thought. Thinking is a skill most people surprisingly actually don't have, believe it or not. And I've had arguments with a lot of people who just really don't think for themselves, and I've done it too. I didn't think for myself for sometimes, and I just gave it a blank answer, and they just absolutely obliterated me on why I'm wrong, and I should give it more process and more thought. And there's a lot of people who are just like that, and there's just the reason I'm making this video because there's so many people that's like that nowadays. They get into an argument, they get into a debate, and they just give you this blank answer that's just like, oh, but this happened, and it says here this and this and this, and they don't give you that much because they didn't give it that much thought. And you absolutely obliterate them, or you get obliterated because you didn't give it much thought. And it's surprising to me that a lot of people actually don't think for themselves, and it's kind of sad because people nowadays, there's always TikTok and Instagram. You just scroll, scroll, scroll for instant dopamine and stuff. That's where you don't get the I don't want to think process because I mean they don't want to think. It's just how it is today, and it's such an important skill to actually think for yourself. And it's kind of silly that I'm talking about this, but people don't think about themselves or don't think in general. I'm tired. I'm sorry. But they don't want to think about like the answer. They don't want to think about like why they're talking about. Why are they even arguing? Why are they protesting? They don't ever give it much thought, and some people do, and they're just wrong. But they don't want to sound right because they think it is right, and it's not. But I mean, it's the same video I made yesterday. People just about the environments, and someone commented about like no crap Sherlock. It's like it's a dangerous environment, and I know it is, but you would be surprised that the amount of people who don't understand that. That's why I made the video, because a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand like, oh, there's crocodiles in this water. Don't be in there. There's some people just like, oh, I'm gonna go in it. I don't think there's a risk, and that's why I made that video. But people just don't think for themselves. They don't. It's just like, I get the answer just like that. I don't need to think. Google, answer, there we go. Hey, ChatGPT, answer, there we go. Now, those can actually give you a deeper question, but they don't think about it. They just see, oh, answer right there. Okay, I'm gonna use that for my argument. They just don't think about it, and then they're wrong and just, oh my gosh, I'm wrong. No, you know what? You're wrong. I looked up the answer. It's Google. Google knows everything. And they just hear like, oh, this knows everything. I'm gonna just search it up. They're wrong. Because I've had so many people like argue with me about crap and they just Google it or something. And it's just like, no, you're wrong. And I can be wrong even if they Google it because I don't put enough like questioning into it. And they Google it and they're actually right about something, but I can't prove that, like, they need to put more search into it. Like, you're right and stuff sometimes, but you don't actually understand why you're right. And that could lead you to being wrong sometimes. And that sounds a little confusing, but it actually can. But just think for yourself, please. Like, not a lot of people are probably going to be like dude, of course you gotta think for yourself as a life skill, but you would be surprised, like the people who don't think for themselves. But, just think for yourself. Actually think about what you want to do. Don't just like get told on what to do. Because I've had many people in my life tell me, there's this like great job you can do. Go do this. I don't want to do that, but it makes a lot of money, and this doesn't always turn out to be the correct thing for you or, but think for yourself. Like, actually think for yourself. I know I'm kind of repeating myself. I'm sorry, I repeat myself a lot if I am. But think for yourself. It's such a big skill to have if you think for yourself. It'll take you so far in life if you can think for yourself. You can win debates thinking for yourself so you don't sound stupid. If you think for yourself, your life will become better and you will have a skill that will get you far in life if you can think for yourself. But that's all I really want to talk about. Just thinking for yourself. Don't just take someone else's opinion because you think it's right. Actually think for yourself why it's right, why it could be wrong, etc. Because people don't think for themselves. That's all I was going to talk about. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you in the next video. There